So it's Monday the 5th of September today. I apologise about last month's vlog being delayed, only I was off for just over a week, and that time, the end of the month, was when I was due back at work, and it completely went out of my mind. And then I remembered, and then I had a few technical difficulties with it. So basically what happened was, the vlog was really long. I was going to shorten it, but I thought I'll keep everything in it. And then I started adding some music on the painting bits and the bits at Whitstable. But I didn't realise I'd got some new music off of YouTube, like free music. I didn't realise one of them had swearing in it, and I'd already edited the vlog, and it had all processed and everything, and that took literally the whole day on Saturday. And then I was watching it back late Saturday night, and obviously saw this bit, the Whitstable bit, where it had the swearing in it, and I was like panicking, thinking, oh my god, I can't have that, because that's so not what I'm about. So I didn't want to have to spend all Sunday redoing it all, taking another whole day doing it. I had other things to do. We was going out for dinner, I had cleaning to do and stuff like that. So, but luckily enough, I found out that on YouTube you can just cut and splice certain bits of it. So I managed to do that. It still took most of the morning. It was supposed to launch at 1:30, and it launched at 2:15. So sorry about that, but I just didn't want any swearing in there, because it's just not what I'm about. So yeah, so I will remember to check the music beforehand. I didn't think there would be any swearing music on there, but obviously there is, so I'll have to check that next time and delete that one that I downloaded, so I will do that. But anyway, so I've had work this morning. I've just had lunch. I've had work. I've had lunch. It's now just 2 o'clock, and I'm going to be, let me just put you down for a second. I'm going to be, you see me, the sun's on my face a bit. Hopefully you can see me. So the list for this afternoon, I'm going to be doing some, no, that's too dark, it's a bit of a weird, move the curtain. What was I saying? Oh yes, this afternoon, or now, I'm going to be doing some work on my business. So I've managed to get a day, so this afternoon, where I need to order the Christmas wrap, order some paper bags, I need to design the Christmas cards and tags, I need to print off some more packaging stickers, and this time using my new logo, so I'm going to do that. And then I'm going to try to, I don't know whether I have time to do that today, but I'm going to be sort of launching a new product. Not today, but designing it. It's based on a product I've already got, and basically I'm going to be personalising it, because I thought this might be quite good for gifts coming up to Christmas. But I need to create some mock-ups of it for graphics and photography, to put on a listing for Etsy. So I'm going to be looking at some mock-ups first of all, and then I'm going to mock it up probably on Procreate this time, just because I find it a little bit quicker. So I'm going to try and do that as well if I have time. Yeah, so that's it for today. So it's a bit of a mess this afternoon. So I've just ordered the Christmas wrap, ready for Christmas. Had a bit of trouble with getting the artwork ready this time. Two things. One, they've changed the whole setup of everything. Excuse the wardrobe. Got a load of junk in there. I'll just stop that. Got a dead plant up here as well, or half dead, half alive. Yeah, so with the Christmas wrapping paper, I've decided to go for a larger size. Usually I go for an A2 size, which customers have said have been fine, but I thought I think it only costs about £5 more to get the bigger sheet, so I've decided to do that this time just because it's the Christmas wrap and people will be wrapping Christmas presents and they might be a little bit larger. So I've decided to do that. Ignore the noise in the background, that's the washing machine. Yes, so I'm currently cutting stickers for packaging, so I'm just doing some free gift stickers, but I thought I'd show you what I do. So obviously everywhere is a bit messy, so when I cut them I have to move this unit out. So obviously I've got the Cricut Explore Air 2. So I've got the Cricut software on my computer. So I've designed these, so I design one and then you just multiply it by as many you can fit on your mat. So then you send that to the printer. So I've loaded the printer with sticker paper. Obviously you load it so the yellow side is facing upwards. So the printer's on ready. So I'm just going to press continue and then that will send it to the printer. So it's preparing to print, so we just have to wait for it, the printer to come out. I've just printed these and cut these, so these are ready to go. So you should be able to see, yeah, they're ready to peel off and go. It seems to be taking a while to get to the printer. My printer has been playing up a bit over the summer. It seems to keep losing the Wi-Fi for some reason, I don't know why. And my computer actually, you know when we had those really hot days when it was like 40 degrees, it overheated a couple of times. But I think what it is I had it up against this wall here and there wasn't much air circulating around the back. So I've had it pulled out more than this. I've actually just put this back because it's been cooler. But I need to think about the way I'm going to have my studio next summer, because obviously if it's going to be continually getting hotter, I need to have the computer away from the window and where it's more air circulating. So maybe when it's in like where it was before, where it was sort of like the desk was coming out from the wall. So I might have to do that again. And also I didn't get that large desk that I was wanting to, the sit-stand desk for my birthday, because it's printing now. I'll just show you it printing. So it's printed, now we get the mat, the Cricut mat. Now you might think this looks an absolute state because there's all fluff on there and cat hairs and stuff, but that's apparently very good. You don't want it too sticky. This is sticky here. You don't want it too sticky, which is true because when I first used it, you couldn't get the paper off in the end and it ended up tearing. So if you have fluff on it, it's not so bad. It's a lot better. So let me just put you on for a second. You just have to make sure that it levels up against the edge of the squares, which can be quite difficult to do to begin with, but you do get the hang of it. And it's best not to stick it down too hard just stick the edges down just so it doesn't catch, really. Right, now we need to load it into the Cricut machine. So you can see this button flashing here. I'm going to have to put you down again because I need 2 hands for this. So then you slot this in the little slots. Press the button. And then press this button. And then what it's doing is just looking at the black line. So it's looking at this side, then you'll look at this side, and this side, which gives him a guide. And then he'll start cutting in a second. Cut it now. First day I'm filming for this September vlog. There will be quite a lot. Well, there will be quite a lot. I'm going to be doing a lot of sketchbook work this month and next month, just because I'm starting a new unit of my degree in October, and because obviously I'm doing an illustration degree, my main objective from that is to become a children's book illustrator. So obviously I've done surface pattern design, I've done making my own products and collections. I've done some illustrating of books, posters, products and stuff for my degree, but now it's time to actually get to doing the children's illustrating. So I'm going to be working in my sketchbook because I don't actually know what style I want to do as a children's illustrator. I know I don't want it to be the same as my surface pattern style. I want it to be a little bit more contemporary and a little bit different. So I'm thinking more towards mixed media. That's why I'm teaching myself about gouache paint. And I'm going to be using probably pens more, so Posca pens, Copic pens, brush pens, any kind of pens. And then I'm hoping to go to one of the big art shops this week or next week, or in the next few weeks, to have a look around there, just because I feel as though I need to explore in what direction I want to go in with my children's book illustrating. Yeah, so as I say, I'm aiming more towards mixed media, more contemporary. That's why I'm looking at gouache painting. Yeah, and then just go from there. So basically the next 2 months are going to be sort of like experimenting to decide kind of what route I want to go. I might not end up going down that route, but yeah, so I'm over halfway in my degree now. So the next sort of year and a half, 2 years will be when I'll spend more time and effort, and you'll see a lot more art, which is to do with children's book illustrating and stuff like that. Obviously it won't be just children's book illustrating, especially for my degree, because they like you to test out all areas. So we like cookbooks. That's another thing I wouldn't mind doing. Self-help books I'm quite interested in doing. And also eventually maybe some editorial and magazine work, so some newspaper, magazine illustrations and stuff like that. So So that's all cut now. Now you have to get it off the mat. So the trick is, because I used to peel it off just like that, but then the paper would go all curly, and then if it's like stickers, they wouldn't like stick properly. So if you turn it over, rest it against your knee, and then gradually pull it down. I'll show you this side. So like that, you gradually pull it down. And then pull it away from you. So basically you're more or less pulling the mat, not the sheet. And then it doesn't end up as curly. And then this one I did earlier, and that's flattened itself down now. Yeah, with the desk, obviously I didn't get it for my birthday. I had to use the money for car bits and stuff because that went wrong. So I'm hoping to get the desk for Christmas now. But obviously where I was going to have it, which is up against this wall, instead of this desk, and obviously it went all the way along over the top of the printer and the Cricut machine, so there was room for packing orders as well on it. If I'm going to have to move the desk now because of the computer keeping that from not overheating, I need to rethink the room again. I know this room has been moved many times. I do like the yoga area, but that's why I haven't put the mirrors up properly on the wall yet, because they might change. I do like the yoga area, it's handy having that here. I do that 4 times a week. The stock shelving I don't like, it's too messy. I would prefer like a closed-in thing, but budget-wise can't afford that at the moment. So it might be a case of in the new year get the new desk and then sort things out after that. Obviously being the winter it'd be cooler in here anyway, so I don't have to worry too much about the computer, not until next year. So we'll have a think and a replan of the bedroom over the next 8-9 months. Yeah, obviously good things could have changed by then, something new might have happened, or circumstances might have changed and I might have to use this room completely for a different thing, so we'll see what happens. Started using my new logo stickers for parcels and packaging, but unfortunately the yellow writing doesn't seem to show up as much, and I noticed it on my logo when I changed it on Instagram as well. It doesn't show up as much, so I might change the wording to black, or like a dark, there's a deep purple in one of the flowers. I might change it to that just so it shows up a little bit better. I've just got back from Hobbycraft. I just went there this morning, had a coffee and just did a bit of shopping, but the main reason I went was to go to Hobbycraft to get some more art materials and stuff. I didn't intend to go, I want to go to sort of like Cass Art or Jackson's Art, but they're not, there's none of them near me. I'd have to go into London for those, so couldn't do that today, but maybe I'll do it in a few weeks. But I did go to Hobbycraft and got a couple of bits, not all the bits I wanted, because they just don't stock them. So the main reason I went is obviously, as you've probably seen from my reels and my Instagram and stuff, that I'm experimenting more with different mediums, especially gouache paint, and obviously for my degree I've got to move more into children's book illustration, which is what I want to do, and obviously for my new job as a tutor, as an art and illustration tutor, I've got to experiment more with different mediums. So I've got Himi Jelly Gouache, which I absolutely like. I use it. My brother bought it for me about 2 years ago. I do use it, but what I found out recently is that I can't layer it. I think because it's not an acrylic gouache, from what I understand, I'm not sure, it doesn't layer. So when I put another colour over the top, the colours merge and blend together and it goes muddy, which obviously you don't want. So I've got I went to get some Holbein acrylic gouache or Windsor and Newton Designer gouache. So Hobbycraft doesn't do the Holbein, so I got 2 Windsor and Newton Designer gouache. So I got white just because I thought I could use this with my Himi gouache paints to maybe, if I mix this in with them, it might make them layer. I'm not sure if it will work, but I'll give it a go. But anyway, it's obviously white is a good base to have to start my collection of new gouaches, so I went for that one. Obviously these are quite expensive, so I could only really get two. So I got this one, and then I got a Pale Rose blush, so I got that one as well. Got that one, and I got the white ones, and this is a permanent white, not the Chinese white I got. So I got those two. But obviously I did get student discount because I'm doing a degree. I do get student discount, so they were cheaper. So that was quite handy, because I wasn't sure when I saw how much they were in Hobbycraft. I was like, oh no, I'm not going to get them here, it's too expensive. But then I remembered I get 20% off in Hobbycraft, so that made them more affordable. Then I needed two more watercolour paints. I needed a red. I haven't got a red, so I needed a red, so I got cadmium red, deep hue. And then I wanted more of like a nudie rose, like a pale rose, but they didn't have any. And again, I've gone for Windsor and Newton Cottoman watercolours, which I use. I was going to go for the Windsor and Newton in this packet for watercolours. They were £6.80. I was like, oh my god, these were £2.80. So I didn't go for them. So I got Rose Madder Hue instead, because then I can use it with white and make it paler. So I got those two. Then I wanted some really fine brushes, because when I start doing some more gouache painting, I want to obviously be able to layer them, and there's a certain style that I want to see if I can do. But I needed brushes that were below 0. I'm not sure how the brush measurements work. I know it's obviously you get 0 and then 1, 2, 3, 4, well, so forth, and they get bigger, but you can get ones under 0. So I got these, and they seem smaller than my one. I don't think I've got a 0 brush, I think I've got a 1. The smallest brush I've got is a 1. So these are a 0, a 2.0 and a 3.0. But I don't know if that's over 1, the 2.0 and 3.0, or under 0. I'm not sure how it works. They look smaller, so I assume they are. And then I got some watercolour pencils. So I've got a white one, because I've been doing a lot of highlighting. I've got like a chalk pen and a white chalk pen and a white graphite, not pen, pencil. A white graphite pencil and a white chalk pen, which I've been using a lot with my botanical drawings to do highlights. And I thought, well, that would be a good idea to get a watercolour one to use on my watercolour work. So I got a Faber-Castell Gold Faber Aqua watercolour pencil in white. Then I got the same brand in, what colour was this called? I think it was maroon. Yeah, it doesn't tell you what they're called, it just gives you numbers. This is 125, and then I've got grey, which is 273, which is just a bit like a pencil colour, like a normal pencil. But obviously this is watercolour pencil, so it works with water. And then I got these, which actually are not very good. I've just tested them out, they're not very good. So these are a pack of metallic pens. So there's a gold, gold, bronze and a silver. I wanted the silver one, but I've just tested them, and the bronze and the silver are not metallic. They're just like, this is like a grey felt tip, and this is like a brown felt tip. There's nothing metallic about them. The only one that's metallic is this gold one. So these are Hobbycraft own brand, so I wouldn't necessarily recommend them because these are kind of useless really. I mean, they'll be alright for pen work because I've got a brown and a grey now, but they're no good for metallic. So that was a bit of a waste really. So I've still got to go back and get, or go somewhere else and get a silver metallic pen, which I need for some products that I'm going to be selling at Christmas. Hi, so it is the Thursday the 15th of September. I received my Christmas wrapping paper last week, I think it was. So I'm going to show you a sneak preview of it. It's a bit different from what I usually do in a few ways. One, the art tile that I designed is not ditzy print, but it's on a smaller scale compared to my other designs. I wanted to do it this way because I just thought about my wrapping paper isn't meant to be like mass produced. It's not supposed to be for like all of your Christmas presents. Obviously if you want it to be, then that's fine, but it was more for the special gifts that you would give. So if you're a man, it could be for your wife. If you're a mum, it could be for your little girl or your little boy, you know, just their special gifts. Obviously it is more expensive, so that's what I had in mind when I designed it. So I wanted the print to be a bit smaller this time, just as a trial, just in case you have smaller gifts. So if you have smaller gifts with my old paper, the image of the animals or whatever's on it is quite big, so you might not see the whole design when you've wrapped a small gift, whereas this one you can because it's that bit smaller. And also the actual size of the wrapping paper is larger. It's not, it's wider, not higher. It's the same height, but it's wider. Again, the old one was A2 in size. Again, I did it purposely in that way because it was just for 1 or 2 gifts kind of thing. And again, I thought that if I'd made it the bigger size, I'm going to keep it at the same price, so obviously it's more value for money, and being the smaller print, it obviously gives you a little bit extra. Yeah, and I just thought I'd do that and trial it. So yeah, and it's obviously a very different colour this time. My last one was Woodland Christmas, which was a very vintage nude colour. Yeah, very sort of like vintage feel. And then the one before that was Retro Christmas, which was like 1950s, very pastel blues, that sort of colourway. So this one's very, it's not pastel. So I'm going to show you now. So here we go. So here we are. So as you can see, obviously you can't really see much of the design because it is that much smaller. So it's a fox mushrooms. It's like my fox from years ago. I used to do a fox, so I thought I'd bring him back. So it's Frosty Christmas, I think I'm going to call it, I'm not sure yet. So it's got snow on it, frosty holly leaves, mushrooms and all that kind of stuff. So I'll show you a little close up here, so you can see there. It's got autumn leaves as well as like frosty leaves, there's some snow in there. So yeah, so that's the design. So as you can see, it's a lot wider. And in actual fact, I've started to get them ready for wholesale and for orders. And I knew this when I ordered it, the bigger size, but I forgot. So I folded my first one, and then I realised that that's not going to fit in an A4 envelope. So let me grab one. Yeah, see that it's not going to fit in there. So I've got to think of a new way to, I don't want to fold this in half because it'll have too many creases in it. So I need to think of a way from the start size to fold it still just in maybe 2 folds to get it into the size of the envelope, because I don't want to go for a bigger envelope because that'll add more postage on it, and then that'll make, where if I have added in the bigger size for the price it is now, for value for money, that's going to make it more. So I don't want to do that. So I need to, this is going to be my trial piece. So I need to think about that as well this time. but I think you can put that there. You can see the design a little bit better there. And obviously when I do my product photography, I'm going to sort of like do it as with like frosty branches and frosty leaves, and sort of like I might get some fake snow, and sort of like advertise it and market it in that respect. Yeah, obviously I would have loved to have had like embossed, there's little stars on here, you can see there, and I would love to have had them embossed in silver or like a frosty white or something, but obviously that would just cost loads. So yeah, but that's the design. So a bit different this year, trialing a few things, the design's smaller, the paper's bigger, folding different ways. I'm still folding them in, rolling them for wholesale, so I'm starting to get all my wholesale bits ready here. So I've got loads of it down here. So yeah, so we're going to see how that goes. I've got nowhere to put this at the moment, so I've got to think of some more storage. Yes, I'm going to IKEA this afternoon, not to buy anything really, just to have a look around. But yeah, maybe look at some storage solutions because I'm not liking this open shelving. But yeah, so that'll be fun. So I managed to fold the paper. It had to have a few folds in it, unfortunately, but I've managed to do it. So basically it's this size now, so it fits in the envelope like that. So there's a bit from either side because obviously I have to wrap it in tissue paper still, and then there's a bit of room at the top and the bottom, so that's not too bad. So I folded it lengthways in half, rather than in widthways in half, and then I had to fold it 3 times. So basically it's folded in half lengthways, and then I fold it once, twice, and then this little bit goes at the top here, and that's how I get it to that size. So yeah, that's not too bad. Makes it a bit thicker, but obviously shouldn't weigh too much more, should still get it in to the postage amount that it was before. Yeah, it just depends if they order more than one sheet, it might add up then. But yeah, I'll look into that in a second. But yeah, quite happy with how that went, so that was alright. So I've got all this ready for wholesale, that's just a little bit of it. Got to do some more now, and then fold more sheets for the Etsy shop. So, and then I've got to design the cards and design the tags and print them off ready for the photography. I'll probably do that next week. I've got all those done. So it's Wednesday afternoon, I've just finished work and everything, had my lunch, so I'm just going to move on to some bits for my business. I haven't had a business day for ages because I've been doing a degree and work and this new tutor position. So I've just spent about an hour doing product photography for the new Christmas range. I've still got to do a bit more because I haven't designed the card yet or the tag, and I need a few more props as well for it. I'm going to do that another day. I'm going out tomorrow to B&Q, so I might be able to get a few bits then. I also need to copyright the pattern, so I'm going to do that in a second. And then this afternoon I'm going to do some patterns and some mock-ups to put on Pattern Field app, and also it's handy for Instagram posts and stuff like that. So I'm going to be using all of my paintings that I've been doing in my reels, because I've collected quite a few now, and incorporating some old ones as well, to add some different textures and vibes and stuff. So I'm probably going to start with this one because I've been wanting to make this into a pattern for ages, this clematis, and I'm going to use this new purple clematis at the top here, this one, as well. They're both watercolours. One's a loose watercolour and one's a not loose watercolour. And then I'm going to use this lily. I found out it was a lily, this one here. So I'm going to use that one with some older ones that I've got to find. And then I've got the gouache ones that I did on black paper. So I've got them two, and I've got those ones as well. I'm going to make a whole pattern with all of those probably. Because I think that'll work together. So I'm going to start doing that. Then I'm going to do some mock-ups of the patterns once they're finished. On some different mock-ups that I've got going. So I've got like a little child's dress, I've got a teepee, I've got some cushions, I've got those what they're called, swaddle blankets for babies. So I'm currently on this pattern. So I've used some foliage illustrations that I had, and then these are all the clematis ones, and I've done a passion flower as well in there. I've kept it quite small. It's not particularly ditzy, but it's quite fresh looking, maybe a little bit Frenchy looking. Yeah, so I've just got to fill this gap in with similar bits. And then decide on the background colour. So we'll see what it looks like in a minute. So I've finished the pattern, and I'm just looking at background colours. So there's a light one, colourful, green, bright green, turquoise, dark blue, purple, more purple, pink, like a maroon red, I've got like an orange, brown, and then we're going into sort of creams, greys, black we can try, bright pink, bright yellow, bright blue. I was thinking, was it this one? Which one was it? Like a pale beige, but I don't know if it's a bit boring. But I feel as though it has the sort of vintagey French look to it. Or whether to go for quite bright. That's quite nice, the turquoise. But I do feel as though you lose the flowers a little bit. Bright pink. Again, I think you lose the flowers. Orange is not so bad. Let's try that grey again. I don't know, I just quite like the grey. I think I'm going to stick to grey for now and then see. Then I've created this one with the lily and the fern leaf. It's a little bit different, doesn't quite, there's no sense to it, it's not like symmetrical or anything like that. I've added some of the smaller fern leaves in the background on a lower opacity to give it a bit of depth. So I like it because it's different, and I'm just going to choose a background colour now. So I've got this orange up. Some of the different colours are quite nice, so don't like this because you can't see the leaves. This is quite nice, quite unexpected, didn't think I'd like that, but I quite like that. Not keen on that. I like the black. I think it makes it look Japanesey. Quite like the brown. And we've got the red again. I think that looks a little bit Chinesey. More of a deeper red. Going into the purples now. The blue is quite nice. I don't think green will work, although that's quite nice. I'm not sure. I do like the black. I'm going to have a think. I think I'm going for this colour. I just think it looks like a nice vintage colour. Yeah, I think it's vintage yet modern. So I'm going to go with that. So this is the gouache florals that I did. This is more of a ditzy print. I'm just going to choose the background colour. But you can see the paintings there. So I like this colour because it makes the actual paint brush effect stand out. And I also like this one. It's a little bit different. But if you... The black one obviously stands out as well. Don't know which one to go for. The black. This. Or this. I think, forget the greeny colour, so it's either this one or the black. I think I'm going to go with this blue one, just because there are quite a lot of black ones like that around. And I think the blue brings out the texture in the brushes, I think. So I'm going to go with this one. So I'm going to end this vlog here. It's Friday the 23rd of September. Because I've only got a free day tomorrow to be able to edit this video. All next week I'm busy doing stuff, so I haven't got time to do it. Ready to launch next Friday, I think it is. But I just wanted to talk to you about my tutor job. So I had a meeting this week, and I've had to obviously come up with about 4 courses, so 2 courses and then 2 workshops. So they're going to be a mixture of art, illustration, like craft things as well. So one of them is going to be, obviously because it will be leading up to Christmas, so one of them is going to be painting ceramic baubles with acrylic paint. So I found some in Hobbycraft, and I've told them about that because obviously they buy all of the resources and everything, which is really handy. So yeah, so it's a little bit, I'm still waiting to find out when it will be, so it'll probably be November or December. I'm hoping it'll be more November, because it will give me a bit more time in November if I'm busy with orders and stuff. But yeah, it's going to be really exciting. So I'm going to film, if I start in November, obviously it will be the November vlog. But if I start getting some bits ready in October, I'll film those as well. So yeah, and then I'm going to do a course for about 6 weeks on illustration, another course for 6 weeks on watercolour techniques, but specifically painting flowers. So I'll get like a big bunch of flowers. We'll have that in the middle of the room or the middle of the desk. I'm not sure about what the rooms are like and everything. And yeah, and then we'll all sit around and then I'll go through sort of different watercolour techniques and stuff. And we'll be doing that for 6 weeks as well. And then I've got another workshop. Well, there's a couple that I'm going to be doing before Christmas, I think 4. So one of them is going to be, you know, those wood slices, painting those, so like a woodland scene or something, or Christmas scene, and then painting your own Christmas cards. Yeah, so there's quite a lot to organise and do and get together. There'll be between around about 10 people on each course and workshop. So I have to lay like the table out, and so they all have their own resources. So with the ceramic baubles, they'll have their own set of paints and brushes and baubles to paint. So yeah, so I'll try and film as much as I can going forward. Obviously I won't be able to film the actual tutoring and the people in there, but I'll film the setups and everything like that. So that'll be interesting going forward. So yes, thank you for watching again. Give it a thumbs up, click the bell, and write any comments below. It'll be nice to have some comments. Just let me know if what I'm filming is things that you want to see, if there's anything else you want to see, any questions you want answered, any information about the paints or technical things I use, or anything about my business. You can ask me, and I will see you in October's vlog. I'm just trying to think of things that might be in the vlog for you to know. So obviously it'll be a bit more about the tutoring. There'll be I might film a few packing orders again, because I know a few people do like that. It would just be getting ready for Christmas really, both with the business and personally. Yeah, anything interesting I'll film. More sketchbooking, more painting. Yeah. See you later. See you next month. Bye.